People spend $5,000 on hearing aids, and a year later, they're sitting in a drawer. Not broken, not defective, just not being used. And when that happens, most people assume one thing: they just didn't work. But that's not usually what went wrong. By the time someone gives up on hearing aids, the real mistake has already happened, and it didn't happen at the end. It usually happened before they ever took them home. And it often isn't a device problem, it's a decision problem. And once that first decision is off, everything that comes after it starts to fall apart. And this is why people end up thinking, did I just waste $5,000? So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly where this goes wrong and how to make sure it does not happen to you. Wrong expectations from the start. The first place this goes wrong is usually before the hearing aids are even fit, because most people assume hearing aids work like glasses. You put them on, and everything becomes clear. But hearing doesn't work that way. Hearing aids don't restore normal hearing. They improve access to sound. And those are two very different things, because hearing loss doesn't just make things quieter. It changes how sound is processed. So when speech reaches your ear, parts of it may be missing, parts of it may be distorted, parts of it may be harder for the brain to interpret. So even when sound is loud enough, it's not always clear enough. In my clinic, I hear this all the time. I can hear more, but I still can't understand. They go home, put them on, and at first everything sounds different, maybe even better. But then they try to follow a conversation at a restaurant, and it still feels like something is missing. And that's usually the moment they start wondering if this is what they paid for, and start second-guessing the decision they just made. Because from their perspective, if I can hear it, why can't I understand it? And this is where the experience starts to drift, because the expectation was clarity. But what they got was access. And that gap between what they expected and what they experienced is where people start losing confidence in the entire process, and where frustration begins. Poor fit or physical comfort. This is where a lot of people quietly start to give up. Comfort. It sounds simple, but it's one of the biggest factors in whether hearing aids are actually used. Because if a hearing aid is not comfortable, it will not be worn consistently. And if it's not worn consistently, the brain never fully adapts to it. Even small issues can become major barriers over time. Irritation in the ear, pressure from the fit, a feeling that something is not quite right. And this is usually the point where people start wearing them less, without even realizing it. At first, people try to push through it. They wear them for a few hours, then take them out, then try the next day again. But gradually, they start wearing them less, only in certain situations, only when they feel like they have to. And eventually, they stop wearing them altogether, not because they decided to stop, but because it slowly became easier not to. And from the outside, it looks like they didn't work, but in reality, they were never given the consistency needed to work, because adaptation takes time. Your brain needs repeated exposure to relearn sound, and without that, the experience never improves. Settings were never properly adjusted. Another major failure point is the assumption that one appointment is enough. It's not. Hearing aids are not a one-time setup. They are an ongoing process. Because when you first start wearing hearing aids, your brain is reacting to the sounds it may not have heard clearly in a very long time. That means some sounds feel too sharp, some feel unnatural, some feel distracting, and some feel overwhelming. Even things like paper rustling, dishes clanking, footsteps, running water, or your own voice can suddenly feel much more noticeable than expected. And many people assume that means something is wrong, but often it means the brain is still adapting. In fact, many hearing aids are intentionally programmed more conservatively in the beginning, because if every missing sound is restored immediately, the experience can become too overwhelming too quickly. So the process is often gradual. Settings are adjusted over time as the brain adapts and as real-world experiences reveal what still needs improvement. But many people never realize that. They think, this is what hearing aids sound like. And if that first experience feels uncomfortable, unnatural, or disappointing, they may never continue the adjustment process long enough to reach a better result. This is something I see constantly in my clinic. Someone gets fit, comes back once or sometimes not at all, and then spends months living with settings that were never fully optimized for them. So instead of improving over time, the experience plateaus, or worse, it becomes something they start avoiding, because instead of thinking, these settings need to be adjusted, they start thinking, hearing aids just don't work for me. And once someone reaches that mindset, they often stop engaging with the process entirely. That's why follow-up care matters so much, because small adjustments can completely change how hearing aids perform in real-world situations. And without those adjustments, many people never experience what the hearing aids are actually capable of doing. Wrong style or power for their loss. Sometimes the issue isn't the setup, it's the device itself. Not all hearing aids are the same. They vary in power, processing ability, how they handle complex environments, how they deliver sound into the ear. And if the device doesn't match the hearing loss, the outcome will never match the expectation. For example, someone with high-frequency hearing loss needs access to very specific parts of speech, especially consonants. If the device or fitting doesn't deliver that clearly, speech will still feel incomplete, even if everything sounds louder. And this is usually the moment where real-world situations start to expose the problem. And this is where people often say, these just don't work. But when we look more closely, it's not that hearing aids don't work. It's that the wrong type of hearing aid was chosen for their specific needs. And that mismatch can be subtle. It's not always obvious. But over time, it becomes very noticeable in real-world situations, especially in places like restaurants, group conversations, noisy environments, where clarity matters more than volume. No follow-up or guidance. This is one of the most overlooked parts of the entire process, because hearing aids are not just devices, they're part of a system, and that system should include education, coaching, real-world guidance, adjustments, and ongoing support. But many people never really get that. They're handed the hearing aids, shown how to put them in, given a few quick instructions, and then expected to figure the rest out on their own. So when something feels off, they don't know. What's normal? What can improve with time, what should be adjusted, or what problems are actually fixable. And this is where people often start quietly losing confidence in the entire process. Not all at once, gradually. Maybe restaurants still feel exhausting, maybe their own voice still sounds strange, maybe background noise feels overwhelming, maybe speech is better, but still not clear enough. And instead of thinking, something here needs to be adjusted, they slowly start thinking, maybe hearing aids just aren't for me. And then once that belief starts setting in, people stop engaging with the process. They stop asking questions. They stop scheduling follow-ups. They stop wearing the hearing aids consistently. And over time, they start adapting their life around the problem instead, turning the TV louder, avoiding restaurants, nodding through conversations, pretending they understood something they didn't fully hear. And eventually, the hearing aids become associated with frustration instead of improvement. This is one of the biggest differences I see between people who succeed with hearing aids and people who give up on them. It's usually not one dramatic failure. It's a slow loss of confidence over time. Because when someone is properly supported through adjustments, expectations, real-world listening challenges, and the adaptation process, they're far more likely to stay engaged. And when they stay engaged, the outcome usually improves dramatically. When you step back and look at all of this, a pattern starts to emerge. It's not one big failure. It's a series of small missed decisions. Each one on its own may not seem significant, but they create a situation where the outcome feels like a failure. Hearing aids that are no longer being used, not because they didn't work, but because the process never fully came together. What this really means, when hearing aids end up in a drawer, it's usually not because they don't work. It's because something in the process wasn't aligned correctly. The expectations, the fit, the setup, the device, the follow-through. And once those things start to drift off track, the experience starts to feel like a failure, even when it doesn't have to be. This is why hearing aids end up in a drawer, not because they don't work, but because too many decisions were missed along the way. And once you understand that, you start asking a different question. Not, do these work? But what needs to be fixed? Because in most cases, most people don't need new hearing aids. They need a better process. And that's what separates people who give up on hearing aids from the ones who actually succeed with them.